Welcome to your first day on the job as a construction welder. We're currently at the base of the new high-rise building, and we'll need you to complete a few different welds around the area. First, we'll be fixing up a cracked skid-steer loader, using metal inert gas welding, or MIG for short. While there are several types of welding, we're using MIG for this job as it is very effective on thinner metal or heavy-duty structural plates. Before we begin, you'll need to put on your personal protective equipment, or PPE, your welding mask, which will protect your eyes from the dangerously bright sparks. Grab the welding mask from the workbench. Put it on now. You can leave it in the upright position as it's difficult to see through the mask when you're not welding. All right, now we need to get the MIG powered generator up and running. There are a few steps here to pay close attention. First, flip the power switch to power it up. Next, we'll need to open up the valve that feeds the gas into the welding gun. Turn the large valve on top of the gas cylinder counterclockwise to open it up. Once that's done, you should see the leftmost pressure gauge shoot up. Now adjust how much gas is being fed into the generator by rotating the small T dial counterclockwise until the second gauge on the right is in the green. If too much or too little gas is being fed into the generator, you won't be able to weld. We'll have to set up the wire spindle to feed tungsten into the welding gun. Grab the wire spindle from the workbench. You can hook the wire spindle up to the top of the generator. Before we can feed wire into the generator, first loosen the wire clamp by rotating it to the left. You should hear a click when it's been released. Now, grab and place the end of the wire spindle into the small intake location. Don't forget to tighten the wire clamp, or else the wire won't be fed into the welding gun properly. Now that the wire and gas have been set up, check that this power source is set to DC+. The power dial is located on the left or the front of the generator, near the bottom. That should be everything on the generator. Next, we'll have to attach our ground clamp to the metal we're going to be welding. Grab the clamp now. Attach the ground clamp to the arm of the skid steer loader. Hey, now that we're ready to start welding, let's make sure we follow our safety procedures to protect our eyes. My pupils would be disappointed if you hurt yourself on the first day. Lower your welding mask now. Now, grab the welding gun that's in front of the generator. To effectively fix the broken skid steer arm, slowly weld the broken arm by moving the gun back and forth from one side of the crack to the other. That's looking great. If you'd like to try again, press the try again button and we can send you another skid steer loader to fix. When you're ready to move on, remove your helmet by grabbing the back of it. When you're ready to move on, use the teleportation map to move to the elevator. Our next job is on the floor above us. To get there, we'll have to use this construction elevator. These work slightly different than your conventional elevator and with much better music. To get inside this elevator, you'll have to lift up the fence, which will move you inside the elevator. No automatic doors here. All right, let's head up to the second floor. Press the number 2 button. If you don't like the ride, you can skip the elevator section by hitting the skip button. Over 50% of man-made products were created by welding. Everything from automotive to the homes we live in. This is the right floor. We'll get out here and head over to our second welding site. Get out of the elevator, grab the fence and pull it up. This will bring you over to the workstation as well. Welcome to your second work site of the day. Here, we'll be welding together some pipes that will be used in the construction of the building. For these pipes, we'll be using tungsten inert gas welding, or TIG welding. We'll be using TIG instead of MIG welding here, as it grants us more precision and is better for thinner gauge metals like aluminum and stainless steel alloys. All right, similar to our last work site, we'll need to put on our PPE, our welding mask. Grab it and put it on now. Similar to MIG, TIG also requires us to set up our generator. Turn it on by pressing the power button. Now, open up the gas cylinder by rotating the valve on top of the canister counterclockwise. Adjust the smaller T dial until the right gauge is in the green. For TIG welding, we'll need our power setting to be on AC. Now, grab the ground clamp. Attach it to the far end of the pipe. We're ready to start welding now, so lower your face shield and let's get to work. First, we'll need to grab a tungsten electrode. Insert that electrode into the welding gun. Grab a filler metal. Now to TIG weld, you need to place the filler metal onto an area you want to weld. Then bring the tip of the welding gun to the filler metal and it will spark, creating the weld. Slowly weld the final section of the pipe together. It looks like your tungsten electrode has become dull. You'll have to pause on the welding and sharpen the electrode before resuming. Grab the electrode out and remove it from the gun. To sharpen that electrode, power on the grinder that's sitting on the bench. Bring the electrode close to the grinder and you'll see some sparks fly. I'll let you know when I think it looks sharp enough to continue. All right, that looks good. Before we resume welding, be sure to turn off the grinder. If we leave it on, someone could get hurt. You should be good to keep welding at this point. You should. Looks like your filler metal has been used up. Grab another one. All right, those pipes look great and are ready to be installed by our plumbers. If you'd like to keep practicing, hit the try again button and I can send you some more pipes to weld. When you're ready to move on, remove your helmet by grabbing the back of it. When you're ready to move on, use the teleportation map to move to the elevator. Now head up to the top floor of the building. I'll talk to you when you get there. Enjoy the ride. Welders work in a variety of environments, including heights and confined spaces. All right, you made it. We're quite high here. Hope you don't mind the heights, as it could be a big part of the job as a construction welder. Open up the elevator to get over to the work site. For our final job, we'll be using shielded metal arc welding, also known as stick welding. We'll need to weld some rebars together to help prepare the concrete foundation for the final floor of the building. We're using stick welding here, as it is effective for welding painted or rusted metals such as rebar. First, let's grab some rebar from the pile next to your workbench. Place 2 rebar into place on top of the bits sticking out from the building. Next, let's get on our PPE, welding mask. Stick welding uses a generator that requires a lot less setup. Simply turn it on, and we're ready to start. Next, grab the ground clamp. Attach the ground clamp to the top section of the rebar. Now grab the electrode from the workbench. Attach the electrode to the tip of the welding clamp. We're ready to go. Hold down your welding mask to protect those eyes of yours. To stick weld, bring the tip of the welding electrode and the clamp in contact with the area on the rebar you wish to weld. Since we're welding the rebar together, bring the electrode in contact with a small gap between the rebars and the weld both together. I'll let you know when they look good. If you like to keep practicing, hit the try again button. When you're ready to head home for the day, remove your helmet by grabbing the back of it. All right. Thanks so much for your help today. I really felt like you welded well with this job. Thanks.